Power on. Check the solvent and waste levels. On the left side of the instrument are the solvent and waste reservoirs. Ensure you have more than 1/4 bottle of solvent and less than 3/4 bottle of waste. If not, please notify your professor or the instrument specialist. The main power switch is located on the right side of the instrument. Flip the main power switch on. Warning: wait at least 5 minutes before turning on the instrument after shutting off. Otherwise, the instrument will be damaged. Instrument display will say boot. Wait for boot to complete, indicated by 2 short beeps. Press the power button on the instrument panel. Wait for the display to finish initializing. Once initialized, the instrument software can be started. Turn on the computer by pressing the power button. The computer will prompt the operator for the password to sign in. The password is in the instrument SOP. Click on the EcoSEC Elite WS software icon on the desktop. The software will prompt for the username and password. The username and password is in the instrument SOP. When prompted, click on Yes. EcoSEC Elite WS Start Manager will open. Click on the HLC-8420 GPC Acquisition System 1 tile. Acquisition application has the following screen elements. Monitor displays data in real time. Flow diagram displays operation status, operation and flow of instrument. Analysis status displays the progress of analysis. Results displays analysis chromatogram for completed analysis. Toolbar icons for analysis start, analysis conditions, and others. In the acquisition software, click on the instrument operation menu and then click on Purge Start. In the Purge window, input 3 mils and click on OK. Wait for the purge to finish. Open the column compartment door by pressing the metal peg at the bottom of the door. 2 columns need to be installed. The sample column is installed on the left side of the compartment, and the reference column is installed on the right side of the compartment. To install the columns, a stand, clamp, and a beaker are needed. The sample column is the longer of the 2 columns. Note the direction of the column. The metal tag has an arrow indicating the direction. Start with the sample column by removing the column plugs from both ends and clamp the column in the stand. Unscrew the sample line from the line union and cap the union with a plug. Connect the sample line to the top of the sample column. Ensure the bottom plug is removed from the column. In the acquisition software, click on the instrument control setting button. Set the flow rate for the columns. Do not exceed the maximum flow rates for the columns. The max flow rates are found in the column spec sheets. When setting the flow rates, the reference flow rate is set in relation to the sample flow rate. The columns in the video have the following flow rates. The sample column has a max of 2 milliliters per minute. The reference column has a max of 0.5 milliliters per minute. This table is a guide for the columns used in the video. The table is also found in the instrument SOP. Settings that are changed will be highlighted in green. Click on Transmit Data to send the settings to the instrument. For sample pump flow, click on Start. When prompted, click on Yes. Wait until a drop of solvent drips out of the sample column. In the software for sample pump flow, click on Stop. When prompted, click on Yes. Place the column into the instrument column compartment. There are clips for holding the column. Remove the sample line union and connect the sample column outline to the sample column. Install the reference column. Note the direction of the column. The metal tag has an arrow indicating the direction. Install the reference column by removing the column plugs from both ends and clamp the column in the stand. Unscrew the reference line from the line union and cap the union with a plug. Connect the reference line to the top of the reference column. Ensure the bottom plug is removed from the column. In the software for reference pump flow, click on Start. When prompted, click on Yes. Wait until a drop of solvent drips out of the reference column. In the software for reference pump flow, click on Stop. Place the column into the instrument column compartment. There are clips for holding the column. Remove the reference line union and connect the reference column out line to the reference column. Close the column compartment door. Instrument Control Settings. In the Acquisition software, click on the Instrument Control Setting button. Select an existing instrument control method from the list of methods or create a new method. In the Parameter Settings section, set the desired parameters. First, set the instrument control conditions. Click on Pump and set the following. Flow rate lets you set pump flow rates and ramp rates. Note: see sample column detail sheets for recommended and maximum flow rates. The maximum flow rates are found in the column spec sheets. When setting the flow rates, the reference flow rate is set in relation to the sample flow rate. Columns in the video have the following flow rates. The sample column has a max of 2 mils per minute. The reference column has a max of 0.5 milliliters per minute. This table is a guide for the columns used in the video. The table is also found in the instrument SOP. Flow rate ramp to select whether to use pump ramping. Increase rate, ramp up rate. Decrease rate, ramp down rate. Do not modify any other settings. Click on Sampler. Sampler table is used to remove and insert the sample tray. Pre-suction volume lets you set extra sample volume for each injection that may help with reproducibility. 1 to 300 microliters, generally set to 150 microliters. Air volume lets you set how much air to suction before sample. 0.4 to 10 microliters, generally set to 3.5 microliters. Auto wash volume sets auto sampler wash volume. 0.1 to 5 milliliters, generally set to 1 milliliter. Sampling speed sets speed of suction for sample. 5 to 200 microliters per second, generally set to 10 microliters per second. Wash speed sets speed for washes. 5 to 200 microliters per second, generally set to 100 microliters per second. Measure speed sets the speed sample is injected into the sample loop. 5 to 200 microliters per second, generally set to 5 microliters per second. Do not adjust any other settings. Click on Oven. Column oven control temperature sets desired temperature for the column compartment. Can be set between 40 to 60 degrees Celsius. Pump oven control temp sets desired temperature for pump. Can be set between 40 and 60 degrees Celsius. Click on RI detector. Response is recommended to be 1/10 of a full peak width at half max. Can be set 0.1 to 10 seconds. Polarity can be set to positive or negative, typically leave as positive. Control temperature sets detector temperature, can be set between 40 and 60 degrees Celsius. Click on Warm-up Shutdown Conditions. Generally use the following settings. Warm-up operation time set to 10 minutes. Standby time after warming set to 10 minutes. Flow rate ratio set to 50%. Column oven set to yes. Pump oven set to yes. IR detector set to yes. Purge set to yes. Purge volume set to 3 milliliters. Shutdown mode set to power off. Standby time before shutdown set to 0 minutes. Shutdown operation time set to 10 minutes. Flow rate ratio set to 50%. Click on Save As to save the instrument control method. Name the method and click on OK. Certain parameters may be highlighted in green. The green highlight indicates parameters that are different from the parameters that are currently uploaded to the instrument. Once the parameters are transmitted to the instrument, the green highlights will disappear. Click on Transmit Data to upload the method to the instrument. Click Close. Acquisition Method and Calibration Curve. Click on the Acquisition Method button. The Edit Acquisition Method window will open. Click on New. Acquisition Method Settings window will open. Set the following conditions. Calculation type set to molecular weight. Identification calibration curve conditions, select desired approximation and corrections. Generally set approximation to linear, generally set correction to none. Calibration curve data input calibration weights in descending weight order starting at 1. The calibration curve time data will automatically populate during analysis. Click on OK, name the method, and click on OK. Newly created acquisition method will populate the list of acquisition methods in the Edit Acquisition Method window. Click on Close. Creating new individual conditions. Click on the Edit Individual Conditions button. The Edit Individual Conditions window will open. Click on New. The Individual Condition Setting New window will open. Set the following analysis setting parameters. Runtime sets the length of a run. With the flow rate set to 1 mil per minute, 15 minutes should be sufficient time for the peaks to elute. Higher flow rates can use less time, and slower flow rates will need more time. Acquisition start time sets start of data acquisition after run start time, generally set to 0. Acquisition end time sets end time of data acquisition before run is finished, generally set to the runtime. Sampling interval sets how often to collect data, generally set to 100 milliseconds. Smaller time interval for more data points, larger interval for less data points. Polarity sets positive or negative, generally set to positive. Run representation displays a visual representation of conditions. Click OK. Name the individual condition and click on OK. Saved individual conditions will populate the Edit Individual Conditions window. Click on Close. Instrument Warmup. In the acquisition software, click on the Instrument Control Setting button. Select the desired instrument control method. Click on Transmit Data. Click on Close. Click on the Warmup button. In the Warmup window, click on OK. Wait for the warmup process to finish. After warmup, allow the instrument signal to stabilize over the course of an hour until the baseline flattens out. Sample Queue. Click on the Sample Queue button. The Sample Queue window will open. Select a sample queue from the sample queue list or create a new sample queue. To create a new sample queue, click on New. Start filling in the sample information. Cup sets the location of a sample in the sample tray, 1 through 100 sample locations. Sample name to name the sample being run. For acquisition method, click on the cell, select the desired acquisition method, and click on Setting. Injection volume, set desired volume drawn from the vial, typically 10 to 20 microliters. Repeat sets how many times to run a given sample. Type sets whether a sample is a standard or an unknown. Designate a sample as standard if being used to create a calibration curve. All others designate as unknown. For individual condition, click on the cell, select the desired individual condition, and click on Setting. Remarks allow notes to be typed in. After completely filling the sample information, click on Save or Save As. Name the sample queue and click on OK. The saved sample queue will populate the sample queue list. Select desired sample queue from the sample queue list and click on Setting. The sample queue will populate the analysis status portion of the main acquisition software window. Performing an instrument run. After allowing the instrument baseline to stabilize, and after sending the sample queue to the analysis status tile, the run can be started. Click on the Instrument Control Setting button. Click on the Instrument Control condition and then click on the sampler. Click on the Ejection button and then click on Yes. The instrument will eject the sample tray. Pull the sample tray out of the instrument. Note, samples must be filtered to remove particulates. Avoiding this step will damage the instrument. Place the samples in their designated sample locations. One starts at the lower left corner and the numbers read left to right. Slide the sample tray back into the instrument. In the Instrument Control Settings window, click on the Injection button, and then click on Yes. Close the Instrument Control Setting window, click on the Start Analysis button, click on OK. Wait for the standard and sample to finish running. data will automatically be sent to the analysis portion of the software. Software shutdown. Click on the Start Shutdown button, then click on OK. Wait for the instrument to finish its shutdown procedure. The instrument will automatically shut down at the end of the shutdown procedure. After instrument shuts down, close the software. The instrument display should turn off. If the instrument will not be used for more than 36 hours, remove the columns from the instrument. If you are not trained, please see your professor or the instrument specialist. Please see the complete instrument shutdown section to finish shutting down the instrument. Data analysis. In the Start Manager window, click on Analysis. The analysis application will open. Select data from the Batch List tile. The Batch List tile typically shows the 50 most recent created data. Once the data is selected, the Graph Thumbnail tile and Graph tile will populate. Peaks will be automatically picked and calculated data will populate Calculation Results area. Check the Analysis method for the standard. Click on the Analysis Method button. In the Analysis Method window, check the Calibration Curve data. The time data should have automatically populated. Click on OK. If the data was modified, click on Recalculate the related all chromatogram data. If the data was not modified, click on Cancel. If extra peaks were picked, follow the steps in manual peak picking. Select an unknown sample from the batch list. Peaks should be automatically picked. Manual peak picking can be used to add or delete peaks. Manual peak picking. In the toolbar, click on the Manual Peak Edit button to manually select peaks. The graph tile will change to a Manual Peak Edit and peak picking tools will appear above the graph. To zoom, click on the Zoom tool. Using the left mouse button, click and hold, then drag to create a box around the desired area. Releasing the mouse button will zoom into that area. To unzoom, click on the Full Scale Graph tool. To pick a peak, click on the Draw Baseline tool. Click and hold the cursor on one side of the peak. While holding the cursor, drag to the other side of a peak. A thick black line will connect both sides of a peak. Release the cursor. A green line will appear connecting both sides of a peak, and a peak number will appear above a peak. The calculations results table will automatically update. To adjust the peak lines, click on the Move Line tool. Using the mouse, click and hold on either side of the peak line. Drag the peak line to the desired location and release. To delete undesired peaks, click on the Delete Line tool. Click on either side of the peak lines to delete a peak. Calculation results will automatically update as peaks are deleted and picked. Click on the Analysis Results button to return to the original spectrum view. Print data. Click on the Print Preview button. The report draft will appear. Click on the Print Report button. In Select Printer, click on Microsoft Print to PDF. Click on Print. Save the PDF in the desired folder. Copy raw data and image. Click on the Analysis Results button to return to the original spectrum view. Right-click on the graph area of the graph screen. A pop-up menu will open. Click on the Copy Text Data to Clipboard or Copy Graph Image to Clipboard. The text data and graph data can be pasted into whichever desired software. Saving. Click on the Save Data button, then click on Yes. Removing columns. If the instrument will not be used for more than 36 hours, remove the columns from the instrument. If you are not trained, please see your professor or the instrument specialist. Open the column compartment by pressing the peg on the bottom of the door. Disconnect the columns from the column in and column out lines. Cap both columns with screw plugs. Ensure the plugs are snug. Connect the appropriate column in lines to the column out lines using a union. Sample in is labeled S.col and sample out is labeled RI.S. Reference in is labeled R.col and reference out is labeled RI.R. Note, do not over-tighten, finger tight only. Close the compartment door. Place the columns in their appropriate boxes. Box labels will match the column tags. Complete instrument shutdown. Follow the steps in the software shutdown section before proceeding with these steps. The instrument display should already be off. If not, press and hold the instrument power button until the instrument beeps twice, then release. The display will turn off. Flip off the main power switch on the right side of the instrument. Warning: after flipping off the main power switch, do not turn on the instrument for at least 5 minutes. Otherwise, the instrument will be damaged. The instrument SOP should be located next to the instrument. If assistance is needed, please look in the instrument SOP for the contact information of the scientific instrument specialist.